Welcome back, DePIN revolutionaries, to another edition of the Verified Recap. So in case you were unaware, DePIN Hub's Verified program is a way that we showcase projects in DePIN that are doing things right. From having a strong team, real-world demand and revenue, healthy tokenomics, and more. We've created our own DePIN due diligence framework, and these projects have chosen to be transparent and actually submit a questionnaire to us. When they rank 75 or more points out of 100, they will be rewarded the verified badge for the next year. And you will see those projects on DePIN Hub with the purple badge at the top of the projects page. So today we are excited to welcome 4 new projects to the program, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of each one of them right now. First up, our friends at Acurast. Acurast is a decentralized serverless cloud built in a DePIN model that anyone can participate in with nothing more than their mobile phone. By providing this decentralized compute, you will be rewarded in return. The team. Acurast is led by founders Alessandro Di Carli and Pascal Brun, alongside multiple other security, compute, and privacy experts such as Christian Killer, PhD. Acurast token is the ACU token. This is a utility token that interacts with Acurast proof-of-stake blockchain. The total supply is capped at 1 billion, and they've generously allocated almost 50% to the community. What chain can you find Acurast on? Well, Acurast runs its own blockchain, which is actually a Polkadot parachain. What is Acurast's funding background? Well, they've done a very successful job on that front. They've raised $5.5 million in seed funding, and very recently just finished a highly successful coinless offering to the community where they raised an additional 5.4 million, bringing their total funding to over 10 million US dollars. Acurast has been ramping up devices in its network and now has a scale of 100,000 devices globally. In terms of announcements, Acurast has many, so you should be checking out their Discord or their X. So we already touched on their successful coinless offering where they raised 5.4 million US dollars, and they're also about to launch their collator program. So this is essentially how you would run things like validator chains on the Polkadot network. So you can think of it a little bit like a validator node offering. So look out for that soon. Quick recap of some highlights. Acurast already boasts over 300 million transactions. And as we stated earlier, now a footprint of 100,000 devices globally. They really stand out in what has become slightly crowded decentralized compute space in DePIN by offering users the ability to participate with nothing more than their mobile phones. You can join the Cloud Rebellion yourself by participating in their Quest program, which you can actually find on the top menu of Acurast's website. So check it out. Hats off to you all at Acurast. Keep doing what you're doing. Next up, the biggest anons in the space, our friends Anyone, formerly known as Ator. What is Anyone? Anyone is a decentralized network designed to enhance online privacy and security by leveraging a global network of relays that rely on the robust onion routing protocol to anonymize user traffic. If we talk about the team, well, Anyone lives up to its privacy-first ethos by being truly anon. But what we can tell you is that they bring deep Ethereum expertise, as well as strong privacy, security, and networking expertise as well, building for major brands including Cisco. Anyone's token is called Anyone. And how do you mine them? Well, you can do so by running a relay or even running a virtual node on your computer, both of which rely on a proof of uptime system. The token is available on various exchanges, including MEXC, BitGet, and KuCoin, and at the time of this recording has a market cap around $33 million. If we talk about the chain, uniquely, Anyone is one of the few DePIN projects that's built directly on top of Ethereum's Layer 1 blockchain. Anyone has been scaling up fast and now can boast 30,000 daily active users and a network that has amassed 6,000 relays across the globe. When we talk about funding, Anyone has been very resourceful by not raising any formal funding rounds, but instead relying on things like token sales, grants, and self-funding with a small private top-up round as well. Anyone always has lots of announcements going on. Some recent ones include the launch of their long-awaited iOS app. You can find the link in the description to install that app. They're also in the next phase of rolling out their awesome hardware, and they're doing so alongside some big names, including podcaster and political commentator Candace Owens. And their next big announcement is around staking as well as reward increases for node operators. So if we look at some highlights, first and foremost, anyone's recent shift from moving away to focusing on the dark web to instead focusing on anti-privacy and security for everyday web browsing was a very savvy move, especially in this age of increasing surveillance, which is being hyper-driven by the increase in AI, which is aggressively scraping user data, most likely yours included. Anyone has a ton of partners already building through its SDK, and it makes itself an obvious candidate for composability within the DePIN ecosystem. So thank you, anyone, and welcome to the Verified family. Number 3, our friends at Onocoy. Onocoy is a global high-precision positioning network, which leverages a global community of GNSS operators, all powered by the blockchain. Onocoy aims to revolutionize the RTK landscape by separating the operation of these reference stations from the provision of the value-added services. And in case you've heard of GeoDNet, Onocoy has a similar approach in the DePIN space. However, they differentiate strongly from a full bring-your-own-device model. In Onocoy's own words, this provides a more cost-effective solution, a higher pay-per-use model, and more coverage in underserved regions. Onocoy's team is led by founder Daniel Aman. Daniel has experience bringing the company uBlocks all the way to the Swiss stock exchange in 2007 when they IPO'd, and he stayed on up until 2021 leading their GNSS division. Onocoy's token, which is just about to launch, a bit of alpha there, will be called the Ono token and will be capped at 810 million. Onocoy will also actively buy back a portion of these tokens. 40% of those tokens are allocated to the community, that means you, with another 22% in a relevant space, which is within their ecosystem fund. And where will all this be happening? Their chain of choice is Solana. And in terms of scale, Onocoy boasts 5,500 validated reference stations, with about 90% of these running 24/7. Onocoy has done a savvy job funding, raising 6.5 million to date, and 4 million of that is through non-dilutive grants. In terms of announcements, the big one is TGE incoming, and Onocoy plans to do this in a fair fashion for you at the community. They will be launching on the Launchpad Pink Sale, giving everyone access to do so. By the time you're seeing this video, the campaign is likely already live. That means there's no whitelist or pre-sale, everyone has access, and the full-blown TGE will follow shortly after. And here are some highlights about Onocoy. First, as mentioned, a highly experienced founder with relevant expertise in the space, a large footprint of miners that are already covering over 160 countries across the globe, real-world data cells underway and growing, and an upcoming token launch that will be on DePIN's hottest chain, Solana. And might I add that Onocoy was a sponsor of the DePIN Revolution online event we threw in 2024. Thank you for that, Onocoy, and for supporting everyone in the DePIN space. You can check out their founder Daniel's talk on the DePIN Hub Academy to learn more about Onocoy. Great job, Onocoy. We are happy to have you as part of the Verified program. And finally, a name you're probably familiar with if you're familiar with the DePIN space, our friends at Hivemapper. Through their network of built-for-purpose dashcams, they provide the freshest, most up-to-date mapping data available. And you can access all of this via their solution BMaps, and if you're a developer, you can also build on top of it as well. Hivemapper's team is led by Ariel Seidman. He is the former director of product management at Yahoo Maps, which is pretty relevant experience for a mapping company. He's accompanied by CTO Evan Moss, who's an expert in computer vision and mapping, head of marketing Gabe Nelson, who's former Lyft, and their head of ops John Palera. The Honey token was launched by Hivemapper in 2022 on Solana. Honey can be redeemed to access map data and currently sits at around 2 cents at the time of this recording, with an FTV of close to $115 million. Hivemapper is one of the OGs and one of the primary plays by some of their main investors such as Multicoin in the DePIN space. Hivemapper already has a scale of 34% of the globe mapped through their dashcam network, which covers 20 million unique road kilometers. At the time of Hivemapper's verified submission, they've already raised $23 million from major Web3 investors, including Spark Capital, Multicoin Capital, VanEck, and others. Hivemapper has recently spun up its service provider arm known as Bmaps, and Bmaps is more than just mapping data. They also have AI-powered fleet management solutions. And through this, users can enjoy real-time monitoring without contracts or recurring fees. So some highlights. They're the original mapping DePIN, and they're one of, as I said before, Multicoin Capital's flagship investments into DePIN. Hivemapper already sits with a huge global footprint of over 162,000 contributors and over 34% of the globe mapped. They followed Nova Labs' lead, also a Multicoin investment, on Solana by spinning up a service provider arm, which allows them to better monetize that data through Bmaps. And with their new B camera shipping now, the future is looking bright for Hivemapper. Thank you, Hivemapper, for your support and transparency, and it's obviously a pleasure to welcome you to the DePIN Hub Verified family. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, big thanks for the support, the transparency, and all of the hard work in growing their projects to our 4 recently verified family members here at DePIN Hub. And we are excited to welcome, again, just to recap, our newest members, Acurast, Anyone, Onocoy, and Hivemapper, to the DePIN Hub Verified family. Remember to check them out on deepinhub.io looking for that purple badge. Until the next one, DePIN Revolutionaries, this is Michael signing off. Stay decentralized.